Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Watumishi Podcast. And when you talk about Watumishi Podcast, it's the home of inspirational conversations for the different personalities that we bring on board regarding different crafts that they practice in. And I'm your host with the most. You can call me Garvillo. Muziq is my name. Our episodes are sponsored by Sauti Gang Studios located in Karen Village along Gong Road. So if you have any nature of conversation that you want to be able to host, even if you have a guest that you want to host on the pod, you can be able to get through the contact touched below. You can be able just to call and book a session and you shall be able to be directed on the same. So you can also advertise with us at Watumishi Podcast. That's basically getting through the email watumishipodcast@gmail.com. You shall be able to get in touch and talk about how we can be able to advance the conversation. So we are present in our social media handles. That is basically our YouTube, Instagram and TikTok. Watumishi Podcast it is. So you can be able to get there, look at the different conversations that we've been able to hold, get the nuggets and the different dimensions of conversation that we've been able to handle. So today we are privileged and honored and humbled to have the one and only. This is the first queen on the pod, the first queen on the pod. So she's a professional drummer, music arranger, choreographer, musician, and also a HLAG ambassador. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the one and only Beth Musyimi. Welcome to the pod. Karibu sana.
Asante. Umekoroga kizungu?
Kidogo tu. Yeah, so we are humbled and privileged to have you on board. So we just want to have a chit chat to just get to know who you are, to get to know the different growth that you've taken to be where you are today, and basically the music scene. But before that, we also want to know how did Beth grow up? Amezaliwa Germany, ama Kenya, ama USA? So you just want to break it down. So I believe we shall start on that. So maybe you can tell us, where were you born? How did you grow up?
So my name is Beth Musyimi. I was born Tao. I was born in Nairobi. Mpisha specifically. Yes, I grew up in Islando. Yeah, though sipendangi kuisema unajua. Yeah, natakanga. Yeah, but I grew up in Islando. I grew up in Umoja. Okay. And then we stayed in Umoja for a couple of years and then transitioned to Tena. And then I think in 2010 at most, yeah, we transitioned to Rongai. Yeah, that's where basically we've been living for the past 15 years now. Yes.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
And maybe the schools you studied, you can give them a shout out.
Shout out. So I was in Rockfields Primary, Kwapo Tena, and then I moved. When we shifted to Rongai, I had to change schools as well. So I shifted, went to a school called Thorntree.
Hey, iko wapi?
Hiyo hata unaweza sikia tu ni shule ya Kajadu huko Rongai. It used to be called Thorntree because there was actually a thorn tree in the middle of the field. Yeah, so that's why I went to school for my last primary years. And then I went to Nembu Girls. Yes. Form 1, Form 2, then transitioned again to a school in Northgate. Iko sides za Kamulu Joska. Huko mashambani karibu kiendelea Tala. Yeah, those are the schools I went to. Yes.
After that you advanced to a different module of learning, is when now music came in about.
I would say music. My music came in about when I shifted schools, because mostly when I was in Nembu public schools, I don't have anything, Musini crucify, I don't have anything against public schools, but I felt like it was not, they didn't have that module of learning in terms of music. Hata hawakuwa na the music lesson itself. But when I transitioned to Northgate is a group of schools, I would say. It was a very recent, actually when ikianzishwa ndo nilijoin, because ilianzishwa 2015. That was when I joined as well. So they had music as a subject as well, and I think that's where my music started kabisa. Yeah, I went to uni. I've gone to uni at Daystar. Shout out to Daystar. I went to Daystar. I did nothing music related. I did international relations. Yes.
So any ambassador?
Mini ambassador. Mini ambassador, yes.
That's quite awesome. And maybe I just wanted to know, did music break in you in your childhood, or it came now after you joined? Because most of the time maybe I get to see musicians maybe have a musical background in terms of maybe their parents or babu, or somewhere it must have extended either you are the co-founder. So
my music started when I was very young. My music stemmed from my parents. My parents are hardcore musicians, stroke ministry related people. Okay. Shout out to my family first of all before I start. My mom, my dad. Shout out to my brothers. Yeah, we have really grown with music as well. My parents were part of a ministry called New Jerusalem Sounds. It was a choir. Yeah, and my parents used to take us to those practices. When they used to have practices, my mom was singing in the English choir, my dad was singing the Swahili choir in church at AIC Jericho. So we used to go together most of the times. You'd go dance hapo mbele na styles za choir. Yeah, and at most tuseme for almost like maybe 7 years or so. Yeah, so we continued hapo ndo tulianza kujua stories za ministry and music as well. That's the first time we would get to hear about music. Wow. Yeah, so my passion for music started there. I used to go with my mom to English choir, and they used to have a band that used to play for them the songs. So I used to go with them, and I used to go sit near the drummer akicheza. It was not something that I really wanted to play, but it was fascinating.
You just enjoyed.
Yeah, I just enjoyed the rhythms that were coming out of there. So nilikuwa tu naenda nakaa nasikiza. But my passion for instrument was never
on the specific,
never on the specific at that time. But I think it started growing when I went to high school. Yeah, so when I went to high school, they had a drum set. I remember it was a talent show that they were having, na mimi nikasema wacha niende nijaribu. I was just playing a very basic 7-beat. Na watu wako wow, uni demo nacheza. Mimi niko hapo najiambia, I don't even know what I'm doing, and guys are like, unacheza drums poa. Yeah, so that's where it started, and then it kind of grew pole too as we continued until Form 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow! And aside from maybe the drums, as you've said, basically the drums were fascinating you. Any other instrument maybe you thought at that period, or it was just
I play bass.
Okay.
In my mind though. Naona venye umebambika uko wow.
What talented.
No. I don't play any instrument. Unfortunately, it's very sad. I want to though. But I sing.
Oh,
I
nice.
sing.
Awesome.
Not professionally though, but I sing. I can tell and differentiate harmonies as well. So that musical ear has kind of developed over the years. So yes, I don't play any other instrument.
So we should be waiting for your track soon. Ladies
Look out on socials.
Get ready. Yeah,
track number 7 is coming your way.
Okay. So as you've told me, the urge continued growing. Yeah. So when did you just now finally reach up to that point when you just said, now this is it, this is the instrument, I'm going with it head on? When was that time?
This is a very funny story. After high school, I finished playing drums in high school. So when I was in high school, we used to have a friend of mine anaitwa Tush. Yes. He used to play drums, but he was like a teacher at that point. So when I used to play drums in school, he was just like, unacheza vibaya bana. And me, I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, mi nacheza vibaya na mi ndo nimefunga hii shule unaniambia nini. So he used to tell me like there are very many things that you don't know about drums. There's techniques, there's dynamics hizo vitu zote zenye hujui but me in my head I was just like mimi najua nini unaniambia. Yeah, so I finished high school. We started playing. My brothers used to play and used to sing at AIC Jericho at the youth department sana the youth worship team. And yeah, so my brother was just like since umemaliza high school na nikao unajua kucheza drums somehow so you come tushikilie. So I used to go play on Sundays and hii story uniuma mimi ushinda nimerepeat hadi leo. Wase walikuwa wananiletea squad kasi juko unajua kitu inaitwa squad means they bring someone who is more professional than you. So umepiga tizi umesikiza songs nini alafu hiyo siku inafika asubuhi unakuta drama amekuja amefunga hapo amecheza na wewe umesikiza songs. So they used to do that a lot. They used to do that with a certain guy and they used to do that quite a lot. Ndio kitu ilikuwa inaniuma. So that time sasa ndio nilianza kulearn kucheza pole. I started learning how to play dynamics nini vitu kama hizo. So I would say my brothers really pushed me to
give your best.
To give my best, yeah. So that's but your story uniuma guys. Iluma sana yeah.
So that I think brought out now the best part in you in terms of now I want now hii mambo mnanionyesha I just now want to show you I can also get that
exactly it started that's where it grew until
awesome. You've told me you also sing. Maybe I want now to diverge and ask maybe have you written songs by yourself?
Unfortunately no. No, I haven't but no I haven't.
Are you considering it
along the way
somehow kama sasa umesema acha ni focus tu kwanza hapo,
wacha ni focus itajipa ikijipa nikipewa wimbo niimbe nitaimba lakini usiniambie niandike.
Okay. Music is quite broad and maybe to ask you maybe have you directed music currently? Have you been a music director?
I wouldn't say I have been a music director because as it is most people believe that in a band setup if a drummer does not really know how to play any other instrument then most people believe that it doesn't make sense for a drummer to become a director because what are you directing? Yeah, it comes when it comes to numbers and arrangements and hizo vitu zote and you're not if you're not familiar with that then it's usually not easy for you to actually have such a position before. So I fortunately have not directed any part of music.
Unakuanga na mic yako hapo na
mimi mic yangu inakuanga vibes. Mic yangu inakuanga vibes. Last sometimes kuambia hapo kusema tu hapo. That's the only thing. My mic.
Okay, awesome. But I also see it as majorly huge. For you put in a lot of energy in terms of playing the instrument. So also I believe itakuwa kazi mob tena ukifanya unaambia watu chord 7 and out of many instrumentalists rarely do we find ladies who play drums. I don't know what just gave you that momentum and you say hii kitu ndapambana nayo because I believe drums involve a lot of energy also at the same time. And maybe I will wish to understand ilibidi uingie gym fanye gym kiasi ama
jengeza mama misuli. No, what actually motivated me to play is my story started with Mamlaka Hill Chapel. Shout out to you guys. That's my church. That's where I serve and that's where I go to. when I joined Mamlaka Hill Chapel in 2019, and that's where I started playing. That's where I started serving. For quite a while, I think for almost a year, because I joined in 2019. So the whole of COVID, I was not able to play because my worship pastor then was just like, bado wewe kidogo fanya kazi kidogo ujaiva. Yeah, so in the moment at that time, I used to see how good drummers would sound, or how much synergy they used to have with the band and the music that they would produce and the value that they brought in that setup at that time. And at that time, the drummer who was playing there, anaitwa Clint.
Shout out
Clinton. Clinton Onyango. Yeah. Clint was there, and Clint is still good as well at that time. Clint was a I would say a good encourager for me at that time, and he was just like, there's a day he ambushed me and he told me, wewe ndi unacheza next Sunday. Na sasa after seeing the services that they used to do at that time, because my brother was also there, and my brother alikuwa ametupwa depend akaambiwa aende acheze keys. So the music that they used to make every Sunday, I was just like,
mimi naenda kufanya hivi,
mimi naenda kuingia hapo, niende nichome. So Clint was just like, when do unacheza next Sunday? And I was like, I don't think I can. Akaniambia, whether you can or you cannot, that is your own problem. Mimi nimekuachia hiyo kazi, so you're the one who's going to do it. And I played on that Sunday. And after playing, kulikuwa na pressure mob obviously, but after playing I was just like, wow. It felt really nice, and I saw the value of actually practicing and the value of actually putting in more effort into that. And I decided from then on that I would want to become a drummer and play drums, not a female drummer. Unajua kuna hiyo notion ya kuna hiyo notion ya ukiona dem akicheza ama ukipata dem anacheza, the first thing would be ni dem anacheza na unacheza poa. So for me I always aim for it to be the other way around. Ni unacheza poa na wewe ni dem unaget. So that kind of motivated me a lot at that time. And from then on I decided I want to take this male dominated space and make it a neutral one, ama tuseme a unisex one that anyone can still do it.
Amazing. Lakini unalilishanga kweli drums. I remember the encounter tulikuwa naye, it was I think December last year. Ulicheza maana nikaanza hey I called our drummer nikamwambia wewe unaona hivi.
Oh my god.
But it was such an awesome
thank you.
So maybe who are the icons who have influenced your musical journey? They can be people, they can be your family, or they can be also maybe the music that you've listened to that has made you grow to where you are at.
First of all, I would say someone who has greatly influenced my music is I am a Christian, first of all. Yes, and I feel like my community or the church space has really influenced, and that means coming to understand why I have this gift. And that means that definitely God has kind of shaped what I need to become, and kind of has shaped that. Someone else who has really shaped is my family. My family have always been my number one fans. Always. Yani, they're always there. They're always supporting. They're always wako tu hapo. And they're always like, hey, Beth, keep pushing. So that kind of has influenced. GC, we have a band called Grace Collective. Yes. GC has shaped a lot. My band of brothers have really pushed me to become where I am, and they keep pushing me to become better. When we have projects that are just like, hey, maze, tunajua potential yako na hisi potential yako, so push. A couple of drummers have also influenced the way I'm playing. A couple of drummers as well. I would say Clinton is there. Sydney Kamwana is also there. He's always motivating me. He's always anani push. Anakwanga vibes. Maestro meskia. Tunaitananga maestro. So he has really pushed me as well. For to be just safe, I wouldn't mention ndo ikae nika I have favorites because staki pia nianze kuambiwa
bona huku ni mention,
so I won't mention them, but there are a couple of people that I love their work and they influence my sound as well. Genres, South African gospel songs definitely, including Joyous Celebration has really shaped. I've listened to Joyous since I was, I don't know, like 7 or 6 years. So they have really influenced my playing. Generally black gospel as well. Kina Kirk Franklin, Marvin Sapp, James Fortune. Listening to such music has also broadened and widened my music taste as well. Yes.
Wow, amazing. And maybe now that brings me to the point. I believe over time, since you've played over time, there are things that you've picked out in terms of your learning curve. And maybe what are those disciplines, or I can call them nuggets, or I can call them points that you've journeyed through. And maybe these are points that maybe you want even someone who is watching you right now to be able to zingatie in terms of growth, how you're able to get to where you are. I would say, first of all, I would want to put a disclaimer that I am still growing and I'm still learning. Growth and learning is for infinity. It never stops. Yeah, true.
Unless you decide to stop it, but it never actually stops. I would say number one is understand your why in your craft. I feel like a lot of people decide to do music just because they've seen that it brings fame and it brings lots of connections, which is true. Yeah. But I feel like if you understand your why and you understand as to why you do what you do, it gives you a purpose. And then purpose drives and gives value to what you're doing. Okay. So I feel, if you get your why, then that's like a fuel to growing and to learning. Another thing is you have to really put in effort. That means diligence as well. Know your craft, learn the basics. From basics is where you learn and grow and build whatever that you're learning. So for example, if you're doing drums, that means basics of time signatures, basics of different tempos, metronome. Then from there you start building different genres of the music as well. And then from there sasa ndo unaanza kubuild stories are rudiments which influence your feels. Have building blocks of chops, hizo vitu zote, then it starts flowing too naturally, but have a really solid foundation. Foundation is really important. Another thing is exposure. I feel like lots of people are, what would I say? They are
limiting themselves.
They're limiting themselves. Ama tuseme they are missing out on a lot. Kuna wase unaenda church unakuta there are drummers who are there, or they're just musicians who are there, and they're really they have been in a cocoon of their own routine, of their own sound and their own space. That they fail to see that there is another community outside there of musicians, and there's a whole lot more of knowledge and connections that you have outside your space. And I feel like exposure, personally for me, really pushed me to become better. That means listening to other drummers, listening to other music, going to concerts, going to live recordings, going to workshops. hizi mavitu tu zenye zinakwangwa just for the sake of the edification of musicians. Most people don't do that. So I feel like if you're stuck in that cocoon, then you don't get to realize that there is potential and that there's a certain threshold that you can pass.
True.
Another thing is what would I say? Community. Yeah. Have people who are pushing you. Have people who are supporting you. Have people who can push you to different connections and different networking as well. I feel like if you have that, then you kind of have a few things that could push you to become better.
Amazing. Yeah. Have people who give you the reality of life. Tell you,
yes.
Jana
ulichoma. Ukuwe na watu wanakuambia ukweli like hapa bana unachoma. Yeah.
Wow. Amazing indeed. So I believe everyone is learning. These are the few points and we are able to handpick. And maybe I just want now to get to working with different musicians or bandits.
Yeah.
How has the experience been in terms of working with the different bandits now? You as a drummer now working with the different people.
Something I've learned is there needs to be dynamic, I would say. You need to know the part that you're playing in the band because you need to have synergy with the rest of the band members. There's an important role you're playing kwa band. Si we peke yako. Unaget. You have a foundation that you're placing for the band as well. So I feel like most of the bands that I've played in, there's something different that you're gaining, something different that you're learning. But the thing that has always stood out is that there needs to be synergy, there needs to be chemistry among the people that you're playing with. Kuna wasemo wenye wanaendanga man solo and you go unaenda unacheza kwa band and there's no value that you're bringing. Like huko tu umeangusha tu chops zako kila mahali, you feel very off. But understanding each and every person, understanding the way umse anacheza, locking the bassist, locking the arrangements, locking, that synergy, that chemistry, that tightness and oneness and unity that you have when you're playing in a band. I think I've come to learn and to adapt that, and also in different genres as well. Because I feel like different genres and different spaces, there are different spaces. If you go to a concert or a gospel gig, there's a different genre and dynamic that is there. If you go to maybe a secular world, corporate, just outside there, it's different. So you have to be very adaptable, and you have to be very quick, fast. Very ready to change.
You
with the environment.
You understand this is what people need here. This is what don't need.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who are some of the bandits or musicians you've enjoyed playing with?
That's
it's a good question.
It's a good question
with good answers. Thank you.
Let me be biased. I love playing with GC. Yes, I love playing with GC. GC is
an amazing family.
It's an amazing family. I love playing with GC. I have played with a couple of guys from Rock Rivers as well. I have enjoyed completely. Kina Maya, Daryl, Das. I have played with Kina Ivy and Tindi as well. That has been really, really good. I have played with Bendiku as well. Bendiku is a band that we used to have in a fleo. When I did a fleo, and they were I really enjoyed playing with them at that time. Akina Boaz, Wasaga, Akina Mark, and Kunta. Yeah, those were really, really good guys I've enjoyed playing with.
Awesome.
Among
the many
that I have not mentioned. Yes.
Okay. So maybe I want to get, since I believe you're always a master of your craft, And I believe to build up the craft is a lot of practice. Do you have practice segments that you do, or it's a matter of when I get time I do, when nikifika tu place nipate time? Because that also brings about the availability of the instrument for you to be able to do that. So how do your practice sessions looks like?
Kitambo it was quite hard to do practice because I did not have any equipment whatsoever to use for practice. I used to use pillows and motivation haiko. Unajua ukienda unafikiria unaenda kutumia mapilo unaisha tu
site. Kwanza ni pillow
tulianza na pillow. So it was quite, I used to really push myself to go and do practices. There's a Nairobi chapel. There's still a Nairobi chapel hapo nje kwetu. Nairobi chapel Ronga is just like 10 minutes away. So I used to try hard to go and do practice at that time. Until I, by God's grace, acquired a practice kit. It looks like a kit, but it's made of rubber.
Okay.
And it has a kick pedal. It nakatu. Then the normal version of a kit. So after kupata hiyo una relax kidogo juu the need of practicing inaisha juu unaionanga hapo. So but at least una get per week I would practice like 3 to 4 days depending on my schedule, depending on what's coming up, also depending on my motivation at that time, depending on how I'm feeling. But tuseme mostly maybe 4 to 5 hours per week.
Awesome. Unaweka kazi kweli. And now mentioning about depending on the environment, how do you deal with creative blocks? Because at some point you have to get them. How do you deal with it?
Inakuanga hard, but mostly if I get a creative block, I sometimes take time to rejuvenate, because sometimes creative block would be from fatigue, or it would be from a lack of motivation at some point in any way, or you've been overworking so much that you are so used to what you're playing that when it comes to doing something creative, it becomes hard to move outside the norm of what you're used to. I usually would take time to rejuvenate energy and just go and sit down and listen to people playing, like attending gigs,
that's a good distraction.
It's a good distraction, and also it's a good motivation, because you're like, this sounds really nice. And also unaingia tu social media na unasikiza tu watu wakicheza, and I think just taking time kidogo, it kind of comes back. That's personally for me. I know it's different for most people, but that's personally for me. It's usually hard to come out of a creative block for me as well, because creative block means lack of motivation, and lack of motivation means it kind of affects how you're playing in general.
Talking about bands, I know you've played with many bands, but maybe I want to know, how did you come about to join Grace Collective, GC?
Grace Collective, I came to join through my brothers. Okay, my brothers joined the first guys. They are only joined wa kwanza, and then after that, definitely there was association of familiarity as well. By extension, I'm related to them, so GC used to call me to play for them when they used to go for missions, when the drama was not there at that time. So I used to go and play, So I think I played for them for a couple of months as well, until one day nikakuja tu nikaulizwa, would you like to join GC? And I'm like, I wouldn't mind.
Aside from GC, any other bands you played?
Like officially currently? Do I have? No.
Okay.
No.
So I believe in your musical journey you've had quite many experiences in terms of concerts na vitu kama hizo. And I believe some of them might have been in the country, some of them might be out of the country.
Why do you assume that?
I believe. I've said I believe.
Okay.
So maybe you can highlight some of the experiences you've had. Going through your media, I've seen somehow you've been out of the country also. Maybe I don't want to tell the viewers and you're here. So maybe what are those experiences first in the country that are highlights for you, and then out of the country?
Experiences zangu zimekuwa mostly church based. Because of, you know, I would also say by choice, also sometimes by circumstances. Most of the experiences that I've had have been church based. My highlights have been Afleo that I played. There are gigs that I played. There's a gig that I played with Ivy as well. That was a highlight. There's a gig we played at L'Oreal. They were launching their makeup products. There's that I played. There is what's it called? We had a live recording. That was my very first ever live recording to play. Grace Collective. That was earlier this year in Feb. We did a music tour in Germany as well. Last year but one. No, 2022. Yes, 2022. So I think hizo ndo naweza kumbuka. Kuna zingine naweza kuwa nimesahau, but hizo ndo ziko at the back of my head at the moment.
In Germany, what was happening in Germany?
So Germany, I did a 1.5 year internship program through Mamlaka Hill Chapel, and it was just basically an exchange program where you go as an intern. So I went with a friend of mine who was a multi-instrumentalist. So our work was just to build a youth band from scratch. So that means that he used to go deal with the band, and I used to go deal with the vocalists as well. So mi naenda kuwafunza harmonies, nini vitu kama hizo. And you know, also at this time you also had to try and struggle upambana na hali yako na Germany yako.
Dosh.
Yeah, na dosh. So we used to struggle that a lot, but that was basically my work. And choreography, I used to go teach dance to the kids and to the guys there. So I did a one internship program from 2022 to 2023 hapo katikati. And then Mamlaka also has a yearly program that they take Kenyans to camp there. So wanaenda wana make music huko, and then they come back. So yeah, they've sometimes been going for those missions as well.
Awesome.
Yes.
Hey, how was the experience? Germany kuko fiti.
Germany kuko fiti. First world country, obviously, is really nice.
Okay.
But music is bado. Africa, sana Kenya, we are really doing great with music. So it was interesting to go and play such loud and arrangement music zenye wao wanachezanga, wao wanazoea rock, metal. Kuna nyingine inaitwa shilaga nika gengeton. Nika gengeton ya gengeton yako sasa, hiyo ni shilaga yao.
Okay. Awesome. So ulikuwa unawafunza na dosh ama ilibidi ama ulikuwa na translate unaambia wewe ambia watu?
No, for the older guys, it was easy to use English. You used to mix English and German kiasi, because they would understand, because they are doing it in school. But kwenye ilikuwa kizungumkuti is I was given work to teach dance in a kindergarten. Yay. We una sweat too, because those kids don't understand English. So I used to have to learn to do German, and I used to have to look for the basic words of counting 1 2 3, step to the side, jump, ruka nyuma, ruka mbele, vitu kama hizo. So that was quite an interesting experience.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
1 2 3 4 5 chani nachia hapo.
Kumbe wewe unaelewa hivyo.
Acha niache watu waende wasome pia. Okay. If you were to play for an artist, who will that artist be? someone maybe of either? Is it like out of their music, maybe they bring out like
Is it local or
either both local, international?
For local, I've always wanted to play with Kendi Nkonge. I don't know if you know her.
I know Kendi.
Yeah, I've always really wanted to play with her. Tunapatananga namwambia Kendi ninaniambia usijali, God's timing. I'm just like, hey, Jermaine. Kendi, Noel Nderitu as well. Always wanted to work with Noel as well. Always wanted to work with Kavesu, but Kavesu is doing something currently, so I'm also glad that I'm able to work with her as well.
Oh, awesome.
For obviously internationally, I've always wanted to work with Called Out Music as well. Kina Kirk Franklin, kina Fred Hammond, Joyous. Mimi mkiez mi hata sijui hiyo siku mnaweza niokota wapi. I've always wanted to join Joyous as well. It's been a dream. Yeah, and
amazing.
Sometimes I would curate my skill or curate my genre in terms of hizo vitu zote just to be able to fit into that music space because of Watuka kina Sabu Sasha. Yeah, he's a really inspiring drummer for me. And Nema Gospel is
awesome stuff.
Vibes. Yeah.
Oh. Aside from music, what is that one or two things that you really love doing? And also talking about dancing. Don't talk about dancing. Dancing, we'll talk about it. Any other thing that you love doing apart from music?
Funny.
Yani ile kitu tu moja inakuja tu out of the mind. Kama si yuko kwa muziki, hii ndio the next thing tafanya. Na si dance.
Na si dance. I recently came to discover I love things to do with social work. When I was in Germany, I used to do social work and volunteer in old people's homes and take care of them and play percussions for them and sing for them. I also not recently per se, but volunteered in an NGO that was dealing with social and community development. And I realized that is something that I actually kind of enjoy doing. And if it's more field work, ukinieka nyuma ya desk utaniweza, but I'm more of someone who is out there speaking to people and talking to people. So I feel like that would be something that I would thrive in as well. If not that, utanipata nikiwatch movies, ama nimelala, ama it's something to do with nature, or just
to that line.
That line, yes.
Okay. In my introduction, I mentioned you as a choreographer.
Yeah.
Do you still also do the dance choreography? And do you practice dance as at now? Ile vibrant amo saying, kidogo nidansia tu kwa nyumba. Ingine baadaye.
Well, for dance choreography, I when I finished high school, it was a passion. I used to completely indulge in dancing and teaching, and I used to do classes, and that was something I really wanted to do professionally. Fun fact, I wanted to do dancing as a course in uni. I don't know how that would have worked, but that was a passion of mine. But yeah, I have taught classes through a company called Inuka. Inuka is managed by my aunt. Her name is Jane Joroge. Yeah, and she manages this. It's a business venture that deals with art and music. So there's music, there's dance, it's like a business, I would say. Okay. And through that platform, they've been doing classes, holiday classes to teach kids, and also personal classes to follow up with such passions. And that is where I feel like I thrived for quite a while. But then the last time I did choreography classes actually was last year, in December. during those holiday classes, the ones I'm talking about. But I have not really actually put myself out there as a choreographer for quite a while, because I feel like choreography, as any other art, needs time and needs effort.
True.
And I feel like my mind is really focused on music at the moment. I don't think I am able to split my mind to do dance and music. One time, so I can dance I would say is a muscle memory. It can't, aiezi toka. I think it's more of perfecting. So I would say I have a really good foundation on dance and in the different genres. I would say it would be a skill if I easily would pick up. It would thrive. But I don't know if I am yet to do that at the moment.
Kuna mtu alikuwa na milioni 5 alisema lakini sasa wachana na yeye, niko hapa, I will take the money.
Usipate.
Okay, amazing. Wow, such an amazing conversation just to get to know all these information about you and all that. So even as we close out, maybe do you also do drum classes currently? Do you offer the classes? And maybe if someone wants to get in touch, how are they able to get in touch with you?
I'm currently offering drum classes. I have been doing so for quite a while. Personal classes, and it actually really depends. I'm also very choosy on the classes that I do, because I feel like kuna wengine tu mnakamingi tu ku it's a long story. Ni mchezo tu. But I do dance classes. If anyone would be interested to hit me up, you can hit me up on my socials. Just DM me and we can work something out.
Okay. Yes. What now? The name of the social media handles that you are in? You can be able to mention them. I believe our director atatacha hapo chini also. Just for remembering. But you can be able to tell us which spaces are you in? What names do you use? Maybe uko na majina zingine. Choreographer.
On Instagram is Musyimi. There's m.u.s.y.i.m.i _ at Facebook is Beth Musyimi, and in YouTube is Beth Musyimi as well. So if you just search me, you would find me. But Musyimi is with a Y. It has a Y. If you go type your own things, utanipata.
Amazing. Wow, such an amazing conversation. Thanks for pulling up. We appreciate it. It's been such a profound conversation. I believe everyone is just getting the different points that they need to get in terms of growth and everything that you've done. And maybe for me, I can give you a flowers as you are here today, that you really do a good job.
Thank you.
Keep on blessing the hearts of many individuals as you do. Maybe you're not now practicing international relations, but you are bringing people together through international relations.
That's true. It's true.
Yeah. So thank you for coming through. Until next time, kudos.